with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. I spent the day today just Googling the possibilities of the Australian property prices crashing. Everything else is crashing. Crypto, the fucking stock market, my stand-up comedy career, all of it. It's going down the drain. But the one I've been waiting for is the fucking property prices to crash. I've been death riding property prices now for about 15 years. I could have been a fucking millionaire 20 times over now if I invested in property just once. I read a book a few months ago called The Tartar Step, and it's about this Italian soldier, this army dude. I forget what rank he was, but he went out to this fucking fort, pretty much an abandoned fort in the middle of nowhere. He hated it at first, and then he got a little bit comfortable there. And then at one point, he thought he saw an army trying to invade, but it wasn't an army. It was like a friendly fucking whatever. But then he got it in his head that an army was going to invade, and he waited there. He gave up his whole life on the dream an army was going to invade from the north. And it eventually did, but by the time the army invaded, he was so old and frail, he couldn't even fight in the war, and he ended up dying. He ended up being too sick to fight in the war, and they took him away from the fort in a hospital cart, like a cart and horse. This is back in the day, and he died in the cart. That's kind of like me with the property price crash. I should have just been living my life instead of just waiting for this fantasy event. And I'm in no position to buy a house, even if it does crash anyway. It's not like I've been It's not like I've been fucking saving and planning for the day I can strike. No, all I've wanted is the crash. I haven't wanted to fucking earn off the crash. The crash is enough. All I want to say is I told you it was going to crash, and everyone's going to be like, yeah, but we're still millionaires. We spent the last 2 decades accumulating wealth while you just Googled, when will the property prices crash? That's all I've ever Googled. When will the property prices crash? And you know what? I don't even want them to crash anymore. They are 100% going to, but I don't really want them to anymore that much. I still kind of do. I was looking it up today. It's fucking insanity what's gone on over the last fucking year, 2 years in Australia. Last year, the property prices in Australia went up across the board 22%. They were already unaffordable before then, but somehow people have managed to scrounge together an extra 22%. And that's across the board. In Sydney, it went up 28%. And Sydney's been unaffordable for fucking forever as well. Well, unaffordable for me. 22%. Can you fucking believe that shit? It's the third biggest single year property price increase ever. The biggest ever was after World War II, which was like 28% or something. And then the second biggest was in 1989, which was like 25% across the board. And a year later, or a year or two later, there was the biggest fucking recession in Australian history. And interest rates were at 17.5% then. Interest rates are at like 0.1%. And the Reserve Bank are talking about lifting interest rates now. That would be nice. That would be perfect timing. 2 years of COVID fucking hell. And yeah, we're going to fucking bump the interest rates up. We pumped billions of fucking dollars into new construction. We gave you incentives to buy new properties. And now that all of you have got a nice new fucking giant loan that you're never going to be able to pay off, I think we'll pump the fucking interest rates up. That is some fucking cruel and unusual punishment. So I don't really want them to crash anymore. If there was no pandemic, if we hadn't had the pandemic, I'd be still wanting them to crash hard. But I think people have had a fucking rough time of it the last 2 years. At least give them a fucking year off. But I don't think that's going to be happening. Once they've got the boot on your neck, they rarely take it off. It's going to be a fucking mess though. Every single economy in the world is fucked. They've just been fucking pumping that money into the economy, and that inflation is going to get pretty bad, and then they're going to raise interest rates and they're going to suck that money right back out. I still do want to see them crash a little bit, but not completely crash. I want to see like a 20% drop, just so those cunts that have been saying over the last 15 years, property prices never go down. Rent money's dead money. I just want to see those cunts get a little bit of a fucking scare. Rent money's dead money. How about I don't have an $850,000 noose around my fucking neck? How about that? Cunt. Anyway, that's been my day. Just more like fucking negative vibes. That's all I've been doing lately is fucking just seeping myself in negative vibes. I'm going to have to climb out of that cesspool. I need to write some goals down for this year. That's what I'll do this week. I'll do my fucking goals. Because when I don't have any clear-cut goals, the only thing I want to happen is for the whole world to burn down. And the last time I really wanted that to happen was about November 2019. And we all know what happened then. I think I caused COVID. Anyway, that will do for tonight. If you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around, and I'll see you the fuck later.